Let me guess, you work hard, you grind, but you're still broke, still behind, still stuck, still stressed every time you check your bank account. This isn't a budgeting video. This is the real reason you're still broke and exactly how to escape it. 1. You don't have a money problem, you have a mindset problem. Let's start with the cold truth. You're not broke because of your job. You're broke because of your beliefs. You were taught that money is hard, that it's evil, that rich people got lucky, that survival is enough. So you don't study money, you don't respect money, you don't take control of it. That mindset is what's keeping you poor. Change the way you think about money and everything else follows. 2. You trade time for money, and that's a trap. The system taught you, go to school, get a job, work 40 hours a week, retire at 65. You know what that is? Modern-day slavery. You're trading your most valuable asset, your time, for someone else's dream. The moment you stop working, you stop earning. That's not freedom, that's a leash. If you don't build income streams that work while you sleep, you'll work until you die. 3. You're addicted to looking rich instead of getting rich. That new phone, those sneakers, that $8 coffee every day, you're spending money you don't have to impress people who don't care in a world that's drowning in debt. Broke people flex, wealthy people build. Choose your side. If you keep chasing the image of success, you'll never have the reality of it. 4. You're not broke because of what you make, you're broke because of what you keep. It's not about how much you make, it's about what you keep and what you do with it. You could be making $5,000 a month and still be broke because you spend $5,000, or worse, $5,200. You need a budget, you need boundaries, and you need to stop lying to yourself about what's a need and what's just a dopamine hit. 5. You're surrounded by people who think broke is normal. Look around. Most people you know are broke, not because they're dumb, but because they're comfortable being broke. If your friends don't talk about wealth, if your family shrugs off debt, if no one around you is building something real, you're inhaling poverty like oxygen. Broke is contagious, and if you don't change your environment, you'll stay stuck in it. 6. You've never studied how money actually works. Most people spend 12 years in school and never take a single class on money, not one on taxes, not one on investing, not one on building income or escaping debt, and they wonder why they're broke. You can't win a game you don't understand. You don't need to become a financial genius, but you do need to understand how income works, how assets grow, how debt traps you, and you don't need to become a financial genius, but you do need to understand how income works, how assets grow, how debt traps you, and how freedom is built. Because until you learn that, you're playing blindfolded. 7. You're not taking risks, you're playing safe and losing slowly. You think playing it safe is smart, that keeping a secure job is safe, that avoiding risk protects you. Let me break it to you. Playing it safe is the slowest way to fail. Every wealthy person took risks. Every empire started with uncertainty. Every level up comes from discomfort. If you never bet on yourself, you'll always work for someone who did. 8. You don't have a money plan. You just wing it. You want to escape being broke? You need a plan. Not vibes, not hope, not luck. You need to know what your expenses are, what your savings target is, what your monthly investment goal is, what your skill-up plan is. Most people spend more time planning their weekend than they do planning their wealth. That's why they stay broke. Not because they don't have opportunity, but because they don't have a roadmap. 9. You're spending like a consumer instead of building like a creator. If all you do is consume, you'll stay broke. You scroll, you watch, you buy, you entertain yourself into poverty. But the people who escape, they create, they build, They launch. They sell. They use their time instead of killing it. Be a producer, not just a consumer. Even if it's small at first, even if no one's watching. That's the shift that builds wealth. 10. You think it'll get better eventually, but time doesn't save you. Action does. Here's the final truth. Broke people think, I've got time. Wealthy people think, I've got a window. And that window? It closes fast. You won't wake up rich. You won't stumble into financial freedom. And you won't get lucky by scrolling Instagram, hoping something clicks. You want out? Then move. Start now. Start messy. Start scared. But start. Because if you don't, this cycle will repeat. And 10 years from now, you'll still be broke. But this time, it'll be your fault. You're not broke because you're broken. You're broke because no one told you the truth. But now you know. And that means no more excuses. Change how you think. Learn how money works. Take responsibility. Build income. Protect your time. Bet on yourself. That's how you escape. If this video hit home, you know what to do. Subscribe to Beyond My Limits. This channel is for people ready to stop surviving and start building. Drop a comment below. Which truth hit you the hardest? And watch the next video on your screen.